Welcome to TechNOW. I'm your host, John Reid, also the CEO of CATA Alliance. And I'm pleased to have with me today from Washington, D.C., Charles Brooks, who is the Vice President, Department of Homeland Security at Xerox. We've had a chance to look at some of Charles' articles and presentations, and he's quite excited about the future of tech. So we wanted to bring those insights to you today. So Charles, welcome, and I know we have three topics. The first one, the digital age and the Internet of Things, and I understand there's going to be 50 billion things by the year 2020. So what's that all about?
It is known, thank you for having me first of all, but it is known as the Internet of Things, and it's everywhere. Our devices are becoming increasingly connected, whether it be your refrigerator, your toaster, or your personal computer. And what is happening is this network of devices are becoming devices, and they're able to interact with each other. They have sensors, and it's going to be eventually $1 trillion market, and it's happening now. It's an exciting time, and we've come a long way since the invention of the wheel, and we're seeing a large integration of a lot of mechanical items into this Internet of Things, which is evolving as we speak.
So this is something that new companies should be pointing to as an opportunity, and existing companies looking at the resources and seeing how they can connect or help connect us as part of this Internet of Things.
Absolutely. It really deals with several areas. Of course, everything is automation, making our lives easier, coming back to a smart home where it regulates the electricity, the heat, the cold, cooks your meals, everything. Basically, it's the Jetsons. And we're there, and it's getting much more developed as we speak. There's been huge gains, particularly in the computing area. Just in the last year, we've gained, a Malthusian effect on the capabilities of utilizing data, and a lot of this will integrate, data analytics and predictive analytics, and allow us to live basically in a sort of a semi-created digital utopia.
So we use the word big data. That's what big data is all about. That's a pretty key component of this Internet of Things.
An essential component, because it's really basically analyzing our lives, our interests, what we do, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's social and play, and they're able to basically compile this data, analyze it, and predict what your wants are, what your needs are, and how we can best evolve in the system. So it's a really important area.
Well, you mentioned healthcare, and I know that's another area that's close to CATA's heart. I've got David Farnes, who's part of our hangout today, and as the population ages, as we get squeezed by costs, this whole area of how innovation can apply to healthcare and medicine is a key. I know you've written about that. Can you share with us some of your thoughts?
Sure. I think probably of all areas, this may be the most important, because it really deals with our life extension, our well-being, and there's been tremendous gains in technology in terms of everything from imaging to drug delivery. Nanotechnology is becoming pervasive. Now they're able to use a targeted biological antivirus type delivery. Some amazing stuff. The human genome, they've mapped our genes. So there's a lot of activities happening in this area, and we're going all better for it. And as a matter of fact, basically what Ray Kurzweil, famous futurist, said that by the year 2045, we'll be able to basically regenerate organs and have mechanical parts and extend our life expectancy many, many years.
So how long am I going to be able to live in this new world?
Well, if I were to say a century from now, probably indefinitely. I mean, they're doing everything from brain mapping to be able to look at how our neural pathways work, our senses, all these activities. So it'll be a large improvement in the quality of life. And if you're talking about regenerating, body parts, just keep replacing them.
Well, we had an interview last week on online visits to a doctor. Actually, it's a company out of British Columbia. Is that part of sort of the real opportunity as we move the model to more of a virtual model?
Yes, virtual model is actually with medicine. I think there'll be a lot of telemedicine coming in the near future. Remote sensors, basically, you will plug into your skin or take something, a miniature pill, you'll be able, the doctor or the people looking at the screen will be able to tell your condition, your respiration, whether you've been, have elevated white count, blood cell count. There'll be all kinds of remote type of medicine activities.
Now, another area that you have written about and talked about is advanced manufacturing, which is really the last item that we want to look at in terms of upside. So what do you see there happening in the next 2, 5, 10 years? What are the trends and opportunity areas?
Well, there's a variety of areas. Of course, obviously, information area, computers, there's the supercomputers, there's quantum computers, there's a whole era of new technologies evolving in this. And it's also in the cybersecurity industry, too, where you see a lot of types of devices for protecting when you're online against viruses, against malware, etc. But a lot of other areas are actually the material sciences. We've discovered some interesting applications of plastics, of graphene, which is a type of metal that can have high conductivity and be used to build microchips. And also in the nanotechnology, there's a huge revolution going on in the type of size. When we first had the computer, it was a huge device that took up off the table. Now we're finding stuff as small as a dime now being put into watches and wearable technologies. So I think in this area, it's very exciting.
Well, I'm going to have David unmute his line. I thought we'd just have a little conversation. One of the questions that I have is, you've laid out some very attractive future opportunities, and for those to happen, there must be some requirements. I know in Canada we just adopted crowdfunding, which helped some of the small companies get the funding. What do you see as the enablers to allow the U.S. innovation engine to take advantage of these opportunities and provide these sort of solutions? What do we need to be successful?
Well, I think to be successful, first there have to be a serious investment in R&D. And one of the areas that has been neglected over the years has been the public-private partnerships and collaboration in R&D. And that is what I think the Science and Technology Directorate at DHS is focused on, is taking all the IP that's in all these labs and all these wonderful inventions in universities and looking what's out there and sort of technology foraging, finding what can be used in building prototypes. And I think it's essential for governments to invest in R&D and also for the private sector. Some companies, put billions into R&D and to share the knowledge. I know it's a competitive nature, but there's so much on the horizon, and the more we collaborate and the more we invest, the more benefits we're going to receive.
Very good, David Farnes, do you have a question?
I do, Chuck. With this connected Internet of Things, how important is cybersecurity in this day and age?
Gosh, it is probably one of the most essential aspects of our lives now. With increased connectivity, and we are increasingly vulnerable. And you have a whole group of actors, whether it be sovereign nations, hackers, criminals, basically targeting everything we do and see. And since pretty much all of our commercial transactions are going the way of online and the internet or with smartphones, and even banks where they use these little digital devices to steal your information, cybersecurity has really become more of a necessity than any other thing going up in technology era right now.
Well, Charles Brooks, Vice President, Department of Homeland Security at Xerox, thank you for joining us. A very interesting discussion. We'll be broadcasting this throughout the world and adding to your thoughts and insights. John Reid signing off for TechNOW.
Thank you, John.